Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of Jaguar's new podcast, Make It Pink. My name is Amy Page, and today I'm joined with Ainsley Deal and Scarlett Sullivan. In honor of Valentine's Day, we are going to discuss the various struggles we girls experience during the Valentine's and winter season in this episode. Okay, so the first thing that I want to really talk about is pink tax, especially for buying gifts for our girlfriends, for Galentine's.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So expensive.
Very.
Mm-hmm. And it's just last year I had a boyfriend and I would buy things for him, and it's just whenever I bought stuff for Galentine's and whatever, I would be spending maybe $40 on stuff for girls, and there's 20 bucks for stuff for guys.
Yeah, no. And pink tax, just to clarify, isn't just things that are pink physically, correct? It's things for girls clothing, tampons, things like that we girls use, not just something that is physically pink.
Yeah, a good example of that is men's razors. A men's razor would probably be about $10 maybe with extra razor heads, but with girls it's probably about $15 to $16. So it's a $5 gap between the two of them, and it adds up.
Honestly, for me, I'm broke, so that is a lot, but for someone who's a little more well off, that might not seem like a lot, but over time that's definitely a lot. So,
yeah, it's a bit weird too because women's razors especially, the only difference between a women's razor and a men's razor is really only kind of the shape of the razor head, and as well as the color of the razor head is usually pink and or orange or a bright color, and then men's razors are usually gray and black and more I guess I don't know necessarily sharp, but they're more for heavy duty facial hair.
And would you say that women do you think the average woman shaves more than a man would?
I mean, men shave daily, and I mean they shave a smaller surface area, but typically most women don't have to shave as much as a man does.
That could be something why there's that $4 difference, because that women aren't out buying razors as much, but still.
But it also does differ though, because some women do shave every day. Some women don't have to, some women do. It really depends. But based on the type of women that do shave every day, most women don't really have facial hair, so really they're only shaving armpits, arms, legs.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so along with the pink tax, I feel a lot of us girls get paid less too, at our traditional jobs.
Oh, definitely.
For sure. I definitely considering I work in retail, which is I'm not gonna say that's a more it is technically a more female dominated job, especially in Mississippi. I mean, I make about $11 an hour, and that also take into account that I'm younger, so I do make less than my older coworkers who have been there longer, so they make more than me. But compared to my friends that work in some of my guy friends that work in the restaurant industry, and they either bus tables or they're doing working in the kitchen or anything like that, they're making $18, $17 an hour. And I mean, if we're doing about the same amount of work, but he's just getting paid so much more for doing I guess just working in a different establishment,
a traditional a gender specific job.
Yes.
Yeah, and also even working in the same job, still women are at a deficit in that area too, because my mom, when she was applying for a position at a hospital when we moved to Mississippi, she had to really talk to them about even the same job, she my dad would make more than her, and they were about similar jobs, and she even went to a better college than he did, and he would still she'd have to really fight with them on salaries.
Yeah, she had more desirable traits.
Yeah. Yes, they were both very smart people, but just trait wise.
Yeah, one of my friends, she works at a local place called the Foxtail, and I am friends with a boy who busses at the Foxtail, and the boys get a higher percentage of tips. So technically their hourly rate is about the same, but Connor will walk out of the Foxtail with maybe $500, and Nan's probably walking out with $250. It's a pretty big gap between the two of them. It's just that Nan will get only a smaller percentage of tips that come from to-go orders. and not very many people tip on to-go orders.
Yeah.
And Connor gets it, like, percentage of the table that he busses, which I do understand because, like, Nan is not working directly with the table like Connor is necessarily. But at the same time, it's just, like, it's really bad. You know what I mean? Especially since, like, most places do not hire women for bussers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and same thing, like, they're not going to hire a boy to be a hostess typically. So.
Yeah, it's very gender specific. And also, in addition to jobs, pay gaps, there's also a lot of pressure around Valentine's Day to get into relationships.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's really bad. Like, it's not even just society as, like, you know, friends being like, oh, I have a boyfriend and you should have a boyfriend. It's also just even like schools being like our school personally has like the thing where you like give flowers to people, like that kind of art, it also pushes people to do that. And then it's also like, of course everybody wants a special somebody to like give something to, or to say that they have a Valentine's to spend their Valentine's Day with, but like obviously not everybody's in that situation to have a relationship or like doesn't want to have one. So it definitely puts a lot of pressure, especially on women, I feel like, because men don't really get a lot of that. Like like I feel like if it was a guy and somebody had asked him like, oh, do you have a Valentine, like nobody's asking guy like, oh, do you have a Valentine this year? And if he says
don't care for real.
and if he said no, his friends are gonna be like, oh man, you're a loser. Like,
yeah.
Like, but if a girl is like, oh, like, do you have a boyfriend? Like, are you doing anything for Valentine's with your boyfriend this year? You have to be like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm just gonna sit on my couch.
I hate that, like, silence, like, after you tell, like, another, like, this kind of, like, this feeling, it starts even with, like, between girls. Whenever I have to tell, like, another girl that I don't have a boyfriend, it's almost like, oh, like, she's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that, like, that look, like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
is it by choice?
Yeah.
Some people are honestly like fine not even having a boyfriend, but especially with social media now, it's like you see Valentine's Day, like Chick-fil-A, they're like, for that special someone, buy the Chick-fil-A heart chicken nugget tray, or Jelly Cats are like, oh, I know your girlfriend wants one of these, like come get a Valentine's Jelly Cat. And it's just kind of like you have to see these ads or see these reels, like these couples trends. It's kind of
the
like,
couple trends, I think, are what, like on
Oh my
TikTok
goodness.
especially, of like, I don't even know, it'll be like a couple, like either whether it's like them exchanging Valentine's gifts or if it's just them like doing a cute, like, I don't know, them hugging or like something cute, like just a cute TikTok. Those always make me personally like really jealous. And I'm always like, wow. I'll go into Kroger and see like flowers all the time. And like obviously they're overly like displaying them now so that people will buy them. But I'm not like upset about seeing the flowers. It's really the videos that get to me personally that I'm like,
yeah. And like Valentine's Day now is extremely like commercialized. Like it's instead of like just like making it like discreet, like really intimate, I guess, like writing a note or just like spending time with that someone, it's like buy them this, post on social media. And like it's very, it's more public, and it's not as like, we're missing the like intimacy of what it used to be. I think it's more of like more like advertised now heavily.
I just feel like, relationships nowadays have become so much more of like a public display of this is who I'm with.
Yes.
And also like during Valentine's Day, like not even being in a relationship, like guys get so brave to like tell you exactly how they feel. They gotta get, like, I don't want to say creepier, but like they just get like a little bit more pushy, bold.
They get bold,
bold and desperate. Like, cause there's this one guy, I've never like displayed any kind of like interest in him. I interviewed him once, and now he's trying to like get me like 4 teddy bears, and it's hard to say no because it's like, I just feel like it's such a public thing now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the pressure of like, oh, well, what are people gonna think if I do date him? For guys, it's like you have a girlfriend, and then for a girl, it's like, oh, well, who is he? Oh, is he like, what's his social standing? It's more of a reflection on you than just like your relationship.
Is he cute? Is he in sports? Is he like doing this or that? It's never about, are you happy with who you're with? And that's
does
what,
he have a good personality? Does he treat me well? It's like what he looks like, what he does.
Going back to what you said earlier about like, you know, it being not being intimate anymore. It's not an intimate holiday anymore. It's so like commercialized. Nobody, like, I feel like everybody's just like, oh, let's go out to dinner because we have to. It's Valentine's Day. Like, people are really, like, only doing Valentine's Day because I feel like it's more of a chore now. It's like, we have to because that's what all couples do on Valentine's Day. And, like,
Yeah,
It's-
and there's also getting out of relationships instead of getting into relationships.
breakup
Yeah.
season.
And it's so terrible that breakup season and get together season are like right
Right
next
there.
to each other. Like breakup season's in the fall, and then you go into winter and it's cuffing season. Like we gotta have somebody to be around you for Christmas and Valentine's Day, and it's just
It's
the
honestly
worst.
weird that that's like a thing. Like, is that
Mhm.
just me that that's a thing? That's so odd.
But it's also like it's not like it's like on purpose. I just feel like a lot of people break up around homecoming.
Oh yeah.
It's just stressful. School's starting. You're getting back into the swing of things. We're waking up early. We have grades. We have responsibilities. And I guess if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, that's just another responsibility you don't want to deal with.
That's true. And like also like over the summer you spent all the time together. So then when
Sort
you
of the
get back
honeymoon
to
phase.
then when you get back to school, you don't have the same amount of time. So then it's like, oh, you're not putting enough effort into me and stuff like that.
I think it also just becomes like a more thing of like, like you guys said, like not having enough time, and also just like, when it's summertime, you have so much free time and like all that. But when it comes to school, I feel like a lot of people tend to like try to focus more on like their friends. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but like a lot of people try to like, lock in on, or most people try to lock in on like their grades, their friend groups, and like, clubs, that kind of stuff. And relationships kind of tend to go like on the back burner, like kind of something that you fall back on for like dances and stuff. And like they kind of aren't your main priority all the time, which can be really bad for relationships. Like even if they are reaching their peak at like homecoming per se,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they always crash down and burn like right after, like speaking from experience. It happens all the time.
And it's also it doesn't help that the second like semester of school
Extremely
is
stressful.
like it is so stressful.
And we're in our junior year as well.
Yes,
Junior
you're worrying
year.
about the ACT. They're asking you questions like, as a kid, by the way, they're like, hey, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And you're just kind of like, whoa.
And
I
that's
wasn't
why like
prepared for
relationships
this.
often go on the back burner. It's just like
You're worried about yourself.
You're worried about your future. You don't know what you're going to be doing in the next 10, 15 years. You don't know what they're going to be doing in the next 10, 15 years. And then it's also a thing of like, when you're talking about a future with somebody that you're serious about, and they're, you're saying like, oh, I want to go to college, I want to do this and that. You've kind of got your stuff lined up, and maybe they don't, or maybe they do have it lined up, but your stuff doesn't line up together.
Yeah.
That cannot in itself.
And especially
be a
now,
lot.
women don't have to rely as much on a man anymore, because back then it was the man who was taking home all the money and the women were at home with the children. But now that ladies, we have the opportunity to work, we have the opportunity to make a living for ourselves, we kind of have to focus on that, because society nowadays, it's kind of like having two parents that work, that's the norm. So it's kind of like we have to also worry about what we're going to do with the rest of our lives. And like our livelihood isn't a man or a relationship.
And that's also what a lot of people like want. Like me personally,
Oh, yeah.
I would die if I had to be a stay-at-home mom. Like I have dreams and aspirations that I want to achieve for myself. And the thought of like a relationship being my only goal in life and being the only thing that I want to achieve is like kind of sad. So,
and it's so terrible that we have to all decide these things now. Like as juniors, the
And our
second
brains aren't fully
semester,
developed.
like my frontal lobe is not anywhere near developed. Like I still feel like whenever I have to make a tough decision, I literally feel the like teenage hormones running through my body. Like
I cry. That's what I
yes.
do. I cry.
Exactly.
I can't do anything else.
the stress is affecting like our bodies so bad.
yeah, I
Like-
get so sick at this time of year
Mhm.
from like all the stress and things.
Stress, headaches. I have my water with me all the time and my Tylenol. But
Well, yeah, like stress has been so bad, especially like going from, I don't know, just like all the things that have happened this from sophomore to junior year. Like I feel like a lot's gone down. And so like for me personally at least, I have like chronic migraines, and they've gotten so much worse since like junior year started. And I genuinely think my doctor told me it was because of like stress. Like my doctor was like, you are just so stressed out, and that is why your migraines have gotten worse. So like it does affect us a lot.
and women's bodies especially, like you're stressed out, you eat more, then you get self-conscious.
Yeah.
You know, I can speak from experience too, because it's like this past weekend, like we were at the Jaguar competition. I was eating fast food. I was stressed out about the show. I had like candy bars for dinner. And then I come home and I look at myself and I'm like, okay, so
like throw it all away and start again.
I know, I'm like, why did I do that? But it's kind of like, and like women, we just have such a pressure to have the perfect body, to be the perfect size, and it's just crazy.
And it's just like we also have so much stress on us to be the perfect woman in our career life, school life, and like motherhood life. And it's just like, it's so upsetting that we have to decide all these things now. Like, people are asking me what kind of jobs that I want to do one day when I grow up, or if I want to have a job or anything like that. And for me, I'm just thinking about, I'm like, oh, I want to spend time with my family, but at the same time, I want to have a job that pays well. And it's just like, it especially since we're at the second semester and next year we will be seniors before we know it. It just gets so frustrating.
Yes, and they're asking me, what do you want to do 5 years from now? Well, 5
I
years
don't
from
know.
now can look like a lot of things. That's
Yeah.
not a lot of time, but that's a lot of things. Like, I could be married. I could be graduated college. I could be having kids. I could be traveling the world. Like, it could be anything. And it's just, like, really don't know where you're going to go. And it's crazy. And especially going out to the world, like, that's scary, especially for a woman.
A woman living alone in college,
It's
there's so
terrifying.
many things that can happen to you. You know what I mean?
And we've been like told our whole lives, like basically to watch our back, not go out at night alone. You know, I literally have pepper spray on my like in my purse. I have like all these things, and my oldest sister, she lives alone in an apartment, and she's got like that thing that you put under the handle so it stops the door from opening from the outside, like if somebody was trying to break in. And I just like think about it all the time, like, you know, you hear all the time about those like horror stories of women getting murdered and killed like at their campus. And it's like
in public too, by
or
the way.
taken from a bar.
Yes, there's so many dangers, and it's like, you know, people tell you like you can't live your life in fear, but at the same time you have to be so cautious all the time. Or
you can't trust anybody.
You can't.
Especially as a woman.
No, like, it's just, there's so much stress with being a woman, and like I just feel like it really affects my body personally, like a whole lot, especially like it amps up when I'm on my period and things like that. Like I get so sick
and self-conscious too.
and I'm eating like nothing ever.
And I feel like people underestimate how bad hormones can get. Like they say like, oh, you're just being like dramatic. Genuinely, like my hormones get so bad to where I genuinely will be so angry one day, like all day, and then the next day I feel like the best ever. And it's like the mood swings are like actually insane. And on top of those crazy hormones and mood swings, we have to attend school like normal people and maintain normal, healthy relationships with people. With like drama going on in friend groups and relationships, and it's like a lot.
I know, and it's like whenever you're on your period, like your mind just isn't like, it's just you're not in your right mind per se. So like sometimes I'll say stuff because I'm just upset and I'm feeling emotional, and then like even just like a few hours later, I'm thinking to myself, that was really stupid. Like you can make crazy mistakes, catastrophic mistakes, you know, just having those feelings. And
and like it also like it doesn't really help that like around this time I get like crazy seasonal depression. Like during the winter, like I don't know, I am not myself during the winter. I'm like a bear. I like hibernate. I'm like bigger and I'm like scarier. And then whenever like I like defrost in the summer from all this,
Like a flower.
and and I'm pale.
And I'm so pale.
And it's freezing outside. Like you can't you
Yes.
can't do anything. Like not only does like, you know, seasonal depression amp up, but that playing into that, like you can't go anywhere. Like you can't do anything. Like even if you wanted to, it's 2 degrees outside. You got to wear like 10 cover-ups, and you're also like, it's just so cold. I hate the cold weather.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but winter clothes are not as cute as summer clothes.
They're
Dare I
not.
say it? Dare I say it? It is so ugly. And then like I already feel ugly. Like I already feel really ugly if I'm like, because like you know how like you kind of just work yourself into this place where you're just like, everyone hates me. If I look so
my skin's
ugly.
dry because the winds are whipping me in the face.
I got like rosacea, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to find something to fix this, and I try to put on a clean outfit, and then I go outside, and I'm like, I look like a caterpillar.
Right. Because
From
you got
all
to
the
put on
jackets I have.
you
I
got to
don't
put on
shave.
so many layers. It makes you look
I
like
don't
bigger
shave.
than you are.
And it's like all reliant on your face, and the face card is always declining
Because
during this
acne gets so bad in the winter for me because the sun always like makes my acne like disappear, but in the winter it like comes back at me and I'm like a ghost. I'm like
You know, that salt water, it does something to like the acne. It just like goes away, and I'm like at my most beautiful, and then you take a picture of me in the winter. It's catastrophic.
And the only cute winter clothes are so hard to find. Like, I have maybe 5, not even 5, maybe 3 like jackets that I wear like regularly, like during the winter, that I actually like, and I think they're cute. And during the winter, like, that runs out quick. Like, you can only wear them so often until you need to wash them, and then you've got nothing. So it's definitely really hard to find cute stuff that's like, not an Eskimo.
And they're also like so expensive. Like, I was looking, there's like this viral like Carhartt jacket. Me and Ainsley have talked about it before.
The pink Carhartt jacket.
The pink one, and it is so cute. But guess what? It's like, was it limited edition, and it's like they're not selling it anymore? So like if you go and find it anywhere secondhand, like you're looking at least like a $250, like $200 price
I did
tag.
find one for $80, but that is still insane for me personally, because
Did you buy it?
did not buy it, but I'm thinking about it.
You should go ahead and buy
I would buy it.
It's in my cart.
Gotta
But
say.
you gotta listen, like $80 for a jacket is insane, like regardless of the brand or the vintageness of it. So
I just think it's ridiculous that the only cute stuff is that expensive. You know what I mean?
And even like women's, like, I guess not just clothes, but like sort of like collectible items, like toys, like jelly cats.
Oh my
I
God.
love
Just-
jelly cats.
And no man is collecting jelly cats.
Yeah,
It's
no.
the ladies.
It's I.
It's just like, it's kind of like even just women's like things, like items, like
so expensive. Jelly cats are a good $50.
And it depends on like if you go to like a boutique, like he's like there's like no place around here. Like there's no Jellycat store or anything. There's like a boutique, so you can buy them at like children's boutiques. And the ones that like I got Scarlett for her birthday, like they were like $50 like per pop.
secondhand, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
like not secondhand, but like they've gone through
right.
multiple stores. And I went to a jelly cat store, and they were definitely like a little less expensive in store because they gotta jack up the price because you gotta import them, and like
Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
they go through so much.
Yeah, it's hard to get them here. And then even if you order them online plus shipping, it's going to be like a good like $60-$70. There is so much pressure though, by the way, to go to the gym
Yeah.
right
and-
after Valentine's Day.
Well, it's like you can't go to the gym because I go and teenage boys infest the waters.
Yes.
So you
And-
catch me in there between the hours of 5 a.m. and like 6:30
gotta-
a.m. That's when I walk in the door.
Men
Or
are
it'll
so
be
creepy
late
the
at
gym.
night, like 10 p.m. Like I can't go during the day because teenage boys are in there. But I go in there and I see someone from my school, and I'm like,
And they're like posing at the mirror and they're like, ugh,
Yeah, they're
big
taking
muscles.
pictures.
and if I want to work out arms, like I can't. Like
you can't, 'cause they take everything.
Well, also it's because it's like, oh, why don't you go work out legs? Because you're a girl. Why don't you do the Stairmaster? You know, it's just there's women specific machines that girls, I guess, like use. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's just like, and I also feel the pressure of like maybe going to those machines because I know
Uh-huh.
you know a man.
You
is,
know
like,
they're
gonna
gonna
do
be
the
free up.
leg
They
curls.
are skipping leg day
You
every
know-
day.
You know that those machines are going to be free. And
Uh-huh.
even if like they're
Yeah,
not,
you know a man's not doing the elliptical. Like
Yeah.
And it's also like why like there's been a big rise of like women's gyms and like Pilates and like things where it's just like mostly just
Yes.
for women. It's just because boys are so creepy
And
at the gym.
and I feel more comfortable when I go to the women's section of my my personal gym, like the one that's near to me doesn't have a women's section just because it's a little smaller, but the same chain, Club 4, like the Lake Harbor one, it has a women's
that's
section.
the one I go to as
Doesn't
well.
it have? I don't go
They
very
do.
often.
They have a women's only gym upstairs, and I love it like so much because, okay, they also have like obviously like downstairs they have like an all inclusive like men and women's gym, and then upstairs is a all women's gym, which I really appreciate. It has all the same equipment and stuff. It's just like a little bit smaller. It's like a smaller like tiny little gym part of the like gym.
Yeah, it's like if you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I only work out in that one just because like it's not that I care about, like I'm just personally more comfortable because so many guys at our school specifically go to these gyms and they're working out, and like they go to these gyms like really not even to like necessarily do it for their health, but like to gain muscle and then to post it and then to get a girlfriend and then to be like, I work out and I go to the gym and it's on my entire life. And then they go to flirt with girls, and I don't want to be flirted with. I just want to go.
I just wanna get
I
it
just
done.
want to be healthier.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, and also like you can't wear anything, like women especially, you can't wear anything too tight. You can't wear anything too low cut, too short.
But at the same time, like if I'm wearing like a baggy anything, I'm sweating. I'm
Yeah.
sweating like a pig. It's just like like, and also like as a bigger girl, it just kind of gets frustrating to work out around those people, just because it's also like
you work out. Wow.
like it's like you need to work. It's like it's not working. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to be judged by those people. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people who already go to the gym, like especially boys, like, you know what I mean, they already have a lot of muscle, or they were already skinny going in and they just want to get more muscle. And so it's just like I feel more comfortable at those women's gyms because I feel like they're not looking at me being like, oh, that girl needs to work out more.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just not being watched. That's really the main thing. I mean, maybe it's just me thinking that everybody wants me bad or something, but like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm being watched.
At those gyms, they do. Yeah.
I usually, like, in my, like, even at the women's gym, I literally put in my AirPods and or put in, like, a show or something, and I lock in. Like, I'm not looking anywhere but where, like, what I'm doing. Because, like, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. And even if I do look around, like, I'm not, like, judging. And I would never, like, and I feel like men need to learn how to do that. Because
they're
so obvious. And it's so obvious, too, because they'll, like, stare at you and they'll make, like, a face. Or they'll just, like, blatantly stare at you, and you're like, could you, like, not?
And let's talk about, like, okay, so I'm gonna speak from experience on this one, but like men like looking at girls' Instagrams to ask them out.
Yeah.
Because it's like we feel the pressure of like having a perfect Instagram, and then these guys are like, oh, she has a beautiful Instagram, that's totally for me. Like she's doing that to get a boyfriend. I want to be pretty, but I don't want people coming up like creepy like men.
My Instagram almost to me is like a portfolio of my life, and I want to display the parts of my life that I really like and that show off me, but I'm not showing it off to get your attention. I just want, like, I almost want to just share that piece of my life with me, like other people.
I want to show it to my kids. I want to show it to my husband. I want to show it to my friends and be like, hey, this is me, like at one time in my life, and I want to remember, because like your photo library, things get lost, but on Instagram it's a little more consolidated. So it's just kind of nice. And it's weird whenever you see a guy like scrolling through a girl's Instagram and commenting on her body, her looks.
That's why, like,
can I post a picture of me in a bathing suit and feel pretty, like at the beach? Can I do
that's
that?
That's why on Instagram is like, I will post on, I'm not like a big social media person. Like I post on TikTok and I don't care like what I post on there. I have private accounts on everything. And I don't use Snapchat all that much. And Instagram I use even less than everything else. But whenever I rarely post, I have the most anxiety I've ever felt in my life when I make a post. I literally throw my phone across the room and I like run to the other room and I like pace back and forth for like an hour, and I don't look at my phone because I'm like so scared. I'm like, what if people hate this post? What if they think I look bad in it? Like, what if like nobody likes it? And I had to turn off my Instagram likes because it got to the point where I was like low-key obsessing over how many likes I was getting. Like, not that it mattered. I was just like, oh my god, what if this doesn't get as many likes as my last post? And like, do people think I look ugly? Is that why they're not liking it as much or something? And speaking on the thing about like guys searching for you, I actually had a guy like on Thursday on this Thursday that added me on Instagram, and I don't really check Instagram a lot, but he added me and I added him back because I add back everybody. And I don't really look at their accounts. I just add them back, which is probably not a good idea, but oh well. I added him back, and he looks like he's a junior, but he just said, "Yo, you're really pretty."
Oh no.
I just feel like Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok, they have really like burned out romance. Like there is
like you don't even have to try anymore.
No, you don't. You just go in you look at, oh, this girl's so pretty. I don't want to get to know anything else about her. I just want to go straight for the kill. Like, and then they just give up like immediately if you don't respond within like 2 minutes. And it's just like, this is so lazy. I want someone who is going to show me that they want
or
me.
Like I've had this before, like a guy's like interested in me and it's like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel really great about myself. Like, you know, it's like you feel kind of nice, like, you know, okay, sometimes it's creepy, but like sometimes you're kind of like, it's like a compliment to you, and it's like you'll be talking with them and then it's like they move on.
Yeah.
Mid sort of talk, and it's like you're getting to know them, and then it's like they move on and you're kind of like, wait, what? And it's just like they found someone better. It's like like I feel like it's like guys, like they won't even like, they're just looking for the next best thing. Sometimes, not all men, but like, you know, and that kind of puts like that gives you stress and anxiety. That'll burn you down.
And it also like gives a lot of like competition between other girls, because it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I saw him looking at this girl's page, or I heard him like mention this girl before, so I have to put out a better post or look better today than her. Or it's just like, we don't need to have so much competition between women because we already go through so much. Like,
Yes, we need
as
to
a
stick
group.
together.
Yes. And it just like, men often will tear us apart. And I think that's really frustrating.
There's so many like friends, like it's like, oh, like why'd y'all stop being friends?
Over a boy.
Yes, over like literally your friends are forever. Men are
Mhm.
temporary. Men are so temporary.
And even if your friendship isn't forever, I promise you that friendship has done so much more for you than a man
Mhm.
will ever do for you.
yes, and it's like when you think back on your high school, you don't want to think like, oh,
I wasted it on a boy.
Yes, or me and
Mhm.
my best friend, we broke apart because of a guy. You want to think about the times, like the fun times that you had. And like, I'm not saying don't get a boyfriend. Boyfriends are great. They bring a lot of
Uh-huh.
things. But I'm just saying, like, don't like sell yourself out just for like someone who's doing the bare minimum for you. Like, know your worth. Like, women need to know their worth. There's
Mhm.
so many girls out there who just think like all they are is a man.
Yeah.
It's
And
really
that's
sad.
really sad.
I saw a quote, and it was like talking about like best friends and boyfriends, and it was like, the man at the altar might change, but I will always be at your wedding.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's just like, you want to have those relationships where they are so sure they would be at your wedding because you would defend them and love them no matter what happens. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like, it's just so frustrating that girls will like leave that all alone just to have the short attention of a man who will probably
Break up with them.
Leave
break
them
up with
for
them
a-
or
for a
leave them.
quote like a not obvious like just a better woman. It's just kind of like
This just because men get so bored so easily, or these types of men.
Yeah. And especially like when it comes to, you know, like men, when they sometimes men will do an action for you and then they'll be like, and then they'll like use it against you. And they'll be like, oh, well, because I did this for you, that means that is so immature. That is so immature.
yeah, no relationships. It's not an eye for an eye. It's not a leg for a leg. It's not an arm for an arm.
You do
it's
things-
just kind of like you give yourself to
Yes.
them and you want to do things for them.
When you do things for people, you do it because you care for them and you're not doing it because you owe them one. That's such an unhealthy way to like look at things. Like, well, because I did this for you, that means that you owe me something. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like how like some people feel so neglected in a relationship just because like they're like, I saw this quote one time and it was really impactful to me. It was said that if someone can only give you 15% and that's all that they're giving you, then they're giving you 100%. Like, I just feel like we have to have some grace sometimes in relationships. Like, if you are going through such a stressful time, you need to find a partner that understands that and understands, like, that doesn't feel threatened by the things that you do outside of that relationship. And at least for me, it's I
Yes.
just want to find some
And-
like the traits that I want in a future
Yeah.
husband. And it's just like, you should never put up with behavior like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, because they need to learn how to be men, and also women who like are looking for that, and they have a few different boyfriends over the span of a few months. Not just because they're hopping from boyfriend to boyfriend; it's because they're looking for what they want. And it's like if
They know what they want.
yes, and it's like if they don't find that, then guys will label them. Oh, well, they're like unfaithful. That's what they will say, and it's kind of like I feel like like especially men don't understand these days that like women are investing in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that there is like a place for like, you're not ready for a relationship. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, I feel like there's like at least in my life, like I've seen it in many different ways that like I know that I like someone or that I want to be with someone, but it's just not the right time for me to be in a relationship with them, or it's not the right time for us. You know what I mean? And I do believe that that can happen, but I just
Maybe like right person, wrong time.
mhm.
I also believe in right person, wrong time because even like I feel like it's really important to know that like people can come back to each other. Like and time is a healer in itself. And I feel like that's very important to like know that. And not just with relationships, but I feel like with a little bit of everything in life as well. Like you can apply that to family, friends, just like a lot of things. Time is a healer. And so, yeah. Thanks for listening to our first episode of Make It Pink. We hope you learned something about the culture of women's struggles during the winter season. And we hope you'll tune into our next episode of the Jaguar podcast. This has been Ainsley Deal
Amy Page
And Scarlett Sullivan
with JNN.